Abiff. By the way, the name Hiram comes from the Scriptures. In the King James Bible, Hiram or Huram is mentioned exactly 33 times in the King James Bible. The Masonic symbol of a coffin. Remember the news people were saying, they're coming up, they're like in a tomb. The Masonic symbol of a coffin shows that the beast that was and is not, he is in the pit, he's buried in a tomb right now. And he's awaiting his ascension out of the pit, his resurrection. 66 days of drilling. Remember, from Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol, we find out that beneath the Washington Monument, that obelisk there, symbol of the Antichrist, beneath that is the cornerstone of the Washington's Monument, and inside of it is a Masonic Bible, 66 books. It's a symbol of the lost word of Freemasonry, the anti-Bible, if you were, concealed within a pit. And the whole symbolism, Dan Brown showed this in The Lost Symbol, is that when you rise up to the top of the Washington's Monument, you're going up a set of spiral stairs, just like Kundalini. You're going up 33 floors, or 33 stories to the top of the obelisk, the ascension. Folks, the symbolism is all there. The date of entrapment, 8/15/10, which makes a 23. They were released after 69 days, which is 23 times 3. Two of the main symbols of Freemasonry is the symbols of Jachin and Boaz, the two pillars in the temple, which is a picture of the human body. Those Jachin and Boaz were both 23 cubits tall. That number 23 or 40, and when you have two pillars, 23 cubits tall, that's 46. And notice again the 33 steps of Scottish Rite Masonry, the 13 steps of York Rite Masonry make 46, the number of chromosomes where our DNA is stored. In the Masonic House of the Lodge Temple in Washington, D.C., you have a Greek temple and a step pyramid. The Greek temple has 33 pillars on it, and the step pyramid has 13 steps. That's 46. When you go inside, I've been there, I counted this, you go inside the House of the Lodge Temple, you walk up these spiral staircases like DNA, there's 23 steps on one side, 23 steps on the other, that's 46, because literally it is about the temple of man and where the beast is going to be in the temple of God. In the Old Testament, the wilderness tabernacle was designed, you're going to like this, 20 boards on the north, 20 boards on the south, 6 boards across the back. That's 46 boards that make the wilderness tabernacle, where the book of the law, the DNA, was stored. The DNA is stored in 46 chromosomes inside the most holy place of your cell. The symbolism is there. Remember a few weeks ago we dealt with the Lincoln Memorial. 36 columns on the outside, 10 hidden columns on the inside, 46, and we have the emblem here of a God inside of a temple. What is this referring to? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin, 33, 3 is the number for sin, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, that man of sin be revealed. The number 22 is the number for Revelation. The book of Revelation has 22 chapters in it, by the way. And how many hours did it take? 22 hours to reveal this to mankind. The son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth where? In the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. A ritual was performed. Now, is this the real Jesus or the fake one? Now let me show you this, and I'm going to show you some things that will shed light on this. On the front of Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma, there's a double-headed eagle. Now, Manly Hall is going to tell you that this eagle is really not an eagle. What is it? It's a mythological bird. It's called the Pheonix. as I told my friend up in Detroit, I said, I think we need to watch these 33 miners trapped in a pit. We need to find out when they're going to ascend. It wasn't too long after that we finally heard that they had a plan to remove the 33 out of the pit. The plan was to have this escape pod specially built for this, and it was called the Pheonix. And when I heard that, I went, now I know. Now I know what's going on. Let's understand what the Pheonix is. In fact, let me before we do that, let's look at the symbolism here of this. I want you to get this, and I'm going to describe this in very G-rated terms. Remember, we talked about the fusion of the opposites, the sons of God mating and joining in with the daughters of men. The great rite ritual that was performed September 11th, 2001 at the Pentagram building, where the male enters into the female. So I want you to look at this, because we're looking at the symbol of conception and rebirth. Conception and rebirth. So we have the male entering into the female. It's similar to the blade and the chalice of the Knights Templar, or the blade and chalice of the Great Rite Ritual. The Pheonix tube entering into the female, which is the earth. The male entering into the female. We have the conception, and we have the tube going in, and then we have the Pheonix being brought back out, bringing the 33 miners. That's the imagery that we get here. By the way, this tube was designed to be exactly 13 feet long. Remember the 13-step pyramid on top of the Masonic building. Also, the 13 rows of stones on the unfinished pyramid. And it says, Annuit Coeptus, which means he favors the birth, the conception and the birth of a Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new world order. By the way, 13. Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. 13-word title in your King James Bible. So we know what we're dealing with here. The symbolism of the Pheonix is that the Pheonix, mythological bird, birds in the Bible are pictures of angels, things with wings, a fallen angel. Revelation chapter 9 verse 11, the king, who is the king of the bottomless pit. He's an angel, he is the king of the bottomless pit. The Pheonix is a bird that dies in a flame and is resurrected out of its own ashes. Manly P. Hall said concerning the Pheonix, and there's several quotes here, he says, out of the cold ashes of lifeless creeds, however, shall rise Phoenix-like the ancient mysteries. The dying God shall live. That's what he said. So the Pheonix in itself is a picture of the God who was died, the beast that was and is not and yet shall be. The Pheonix is an emblem of the Antichrist, who is in the pit, dead, in a tomb, buried, and he's going to live again by ascending up. Manly Hall also said in the mysteries it was customary to refer to initiates as phoenixes, or men who had been born again. For just as physical birth gives man consciousness in the physical world, so the neophyte, after 9 degrees in the womb of the mysteries, was born into a consciousness of the spiritual world. This is the mystery of initiation to which Christ referred when he said, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Notice that's John 3:3. The Pheonix is a fitting symbol of this spiritual truth. He goes on to say, the Egyptians occasionally represented the Pheonix as having the body of a man and the wings of a bird. That's an angel creature. This biform creature had a tuft of feathers upon its head, and its arms were upraised in an attitude of prayer. As the Pheonix was the symbol of regeneration, the tuft of feathers on the back of its head might well symbolize the activity of the pineal gland or the third eye. Folks, it's all there. The serpent rising up the 33 bones of your spine, activating your pineal gland, your third eye. Illumination. That's what that was referring to. This symbolism of what took place on Wednesday, October 13th, 2010, was intended to be an awakening to people. It was intended to be a subliminal ideology given to people all over the world that the Pheonix, number 33, is soon to be rising. And what I don't know of anybody that said, oh, these guys ought to die, we need to keep them in. I don't know of anybody that said that. Everybody said, these people need to rise. The 33 need to come up out into the light. That was the imagery being planted, the ritual performed to empower the gods to do what they have planned to do in this world. Manly Hall goes on to say, Masonry will be in a position to solve many of the secrets of its esoteric doctrine when it realizes that both its single and double-headed eagles are phoenixes, and that to all initiates and philosophers the phoenix is the symbol of the transmutation and regeneration of the creative energy, commonly called the accomplishment of the great work. The double-headed phoenix is the prototype of an androgynous man. So Albert Pike here is saying that the Pheonix, his birth and death and resurrection, is a symbol of the man who is both God and beast. Male, androgynous, female, androgynous, male and female together. The Pheonix, the double-headed, in fact, even Albert Pike says the two heads of the eagle represent the male and the female fused together in the same body. When you see the Pheonix, you see Baphomet. The God who is both male and female. That's not Jesus. That is the beast rising up in the last days. Notice this, Genesis chapter 3, verse 5. For God doth know, this is what the serpent spoke to Eve. This is of the 46 words. Remember the chromosomes? Of the 46 words that the devil, the serpent, spoke to Eve. For God doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. It just so happens that the 33rd word spoke to Eve was eyes. The pineal gland, the third eye. A ritual was performed. Not only a ritual to invoke the power of the spirit of Antichrist that John said is already at work in the earth right now, and I believe that, but a ritual that was designed to illuminate the minds of mankind all over the world, so that we see the Pheonix rising. And I'll tell you, the Pheonix is not a Christian symbol. It is a symbol of the Antichrist rising up in the last days. This was done right in front of our very eyes. How many things going on around us do we see? Advertisements, movies. People sending me movies. Pastor Mike, I saw this in a movie. Or I tell you what really impresses me. Pastor Mike, my son was watching television, or they were watching a movie, and they said, Mommy, come and look at this. Doesn't this talk about the Antichrist or the devil? I tell you what I'm thankful for. I tell you that I'm thankful that the devil did not open my eyes. That God, I was lost and now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. I see according to this Bible right here, the truthfulness of what's going on. I'm glad that we have an opportunity right now in this world to expose things. Now, let me say this, and I said it earlier. Am I glad that minors are out of there? Boy, you bet. If that was my family, if that was me down there, man, I'd want out of there. So we're glad, we're thankful. We hope that they all trust Jesus with all of their heart. Well, that's what we hope. But I will tell you the symbolism behind it, the ritual behind it. And if you think, oh, come on, men didn't orchestrate this, what'd they do, blow that up? No, because the true nature of any conspiracy is that spirits are involved. Spirits.